the pessimist, being empathetic. So, really trying to understand things from their perspective that might give you a different sense of where they're coming from. So, I had a situation, and it's kind of funny, but it also goes back to the empathy piece and the listening piece. And so I went to the store one day after work and I was very tired. It was a long day, but I had to get a couple things for dinner. So I had a handful of things, probably less than 10 or whatever the minimum is for those short lines. But the short lines were long, so I just went to a regular line. Maybe there was one person ahead of me, and then this older lady ended up behind me. And she also had like a handful of things, maybe 6 or 7 items. So then I am up to get processed. Unfortunately, one of the things I needed was something that's locked behind glass, which is a whole other conversation. It's very annoying that everything is locked behind glass. So I felt bad because I was like, I know this is going to take a little bit of time, but their locked stuff is right in the front. So I thought it wouldn't take too long. Well, the second the lady left, another cashier opened, and there might have been one family behind the lady behind me. And so the cashier said, do you want to come to the last family? Do you want to come to my line? And the lady behind me was visibly upset, like, I should have gone next because I have fewer items than they have, and I should have gone next. Well, now our cashier is getting my item and is taking some time because she needs to get the right key. And then she thinks she has the right key and she's fumbling with the lock. So now the lady's complaining, where's our cashier? I said, she's getting me something behind the glass over there. I think she's about to get it, so it should just be a few minutes. I'm trying to calm her down. Then the cashier gets my item, has to return the keys to the manager, and comes back. By the time she comes back, the lady behind me has stewed so long that I just tell the cashier, you know what? Why don't you take this lady behind me? In my head, I'm thinking she's clearly had a rough day. Rough life, maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to take the perspective that she's had a rough life. So let's go ahead and let her go first. And the cashier's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yep, for sure. I start handing her the lady's items because at this point, my things are in the way. So I'm just like, here, just start scanning her stuff, please. Just fine. So the lady's like, she didn't even say thank you. I didn't do it for a thank you. She's just like, yes, because I should have been taken by that other. She was still hurt that she wasn't the one who was taken to the next line. So she goes around me so she can pay. She doesn't have a bag, so the cashier uses one of their bags. And she had fruit or something as one of her item, and it wasn't in one of those like plastic organic bags. So she had to pull a bag and quickly stuff the stuff in there. The stuff is rolling out of the bag. So now the lady's complaining that the stuff is not staying in the bag. She's like, this isn't working. And the cashier, as nice as she could be, was just, I'm sorry, but that's the only bag I have like this here for this. So we'll just do the best we can. So then the lady is struggling to figure out the system. Like there's some question they ask at the start of the whole thing you can bypass or whatever, but she's really struggling to figure it out. The cashier is trying to help her, and anything the cashier says, she's not listening to. So finally, the cashier has to come around and take care of it for her. Finally, get her to the screen where she can pay. And then she does her card. But that it doesn't end there because she's still fumbling with the bag. So she spends another few minutes still mumbling and complaining about the bag not working and whatnot. Finally, she gets it all and then she leaves. So I'm like, the lady's like, that was really nice of you to let her go ahead of you. I said, look, she was having a rough day or a rough life. I don't know, maybe both. And I would much rather her move along in her day than for both of us to just have to hear her mumbling behind me, that she's having this. She should have gone to the other line, not this other family. And I find that old me definitely would have been like, I'm here. I'm also very tired from a long day. I need to get through this line. You're just going to have to wait, right? But I think I really tried to like take a deep breath and say, I don't know what this lady's gone through. And maybe it takes a lot for her to even get out. So for her to be here and have to be here longer is really disturbing for her. It's all good. it's a few more minutes for me. It's fine. Just let her go. And funny thing is, today I went to the bank and the line was super long, and there was someone in front of me who kept looking back. And I was like, I don't know why he's looking back. Well, he turned to me and he goes, I just want you to know there was someone who was in front of me who stepped away, so he might be coming back into the line. And I said, that's fine. And he said, I just want to be courteous because I know sometimes people see someone charge in front of the line and they think they've cut the line, and I don't want anyone to get upset. It's just courtesy. I said, wow, that's unusual, and I really appreciate that. Like, I think just being mindful of other people's energies and just being courteous, and the lady behind me wasn't very courteous, but my hope was maybe extending a little courtesy might, she might pay it forward. I mean, her attitude afterwards did not give me that impression, but I think the effort of just trying to empathize with her day and, hey, I hope your day gets better, maybe would have rubbed off a little. Maybe she would leave the store and feel a little bit of like, I need to pay it forward to somebody else. I don't know. But it also made me think of the main character from Up. You remember the movie Up?
Oh, yes, yes. The nice older gentleman.
So he's a little grumpy, right? And the little kid just like wants to hang out with him, and he's a little bothered, but you understand why, right? Like, he went through this really tragic loss, and he's just had a really tough time re-engaging with life, and takes some time, but he finally like turns around. But I think we just don't know what people are going through. And if you're in a position to step back and say, okay, I'm going to be the patient one here, or I'm going to be the one that shows a little grace or a little understanding. I don't know who you are, I don't know your situation, but it's no major loss to me to let you go ahead of me. Just let's get you out of the store.
And that is a great thing. Empathy is the greatest thing because that's all it takes. And I know some days, like you said, you were tired. One has had a bad day too. And your first thought could very well be, I'm also tired. I don't want to be here, but I have to, and things like that. But empathy is a great thing. I think it helps a lot.
And it's not always easy. It may be easier when you have a little more energy, but it just gives you a different perspective. It's important to step outside of our own shoes and just try to give grace to those who might be struggling a little bit.
So that was very nice.